This one of them videos that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I was just waiting for the perfect time to speak on it. Everybody knows when you jump on over here to Kfrog TV, I don't know to tell you the things that I went through while I was serving time in prison, but I tell you the things that I seen and I witnessed and came across firsthand while doing my bid. For this one here, I'm going to be telling y'all how an inmate got popped in the neck while being transferred on a bus. Alright? So sit back, enjoy this real spill, and let's get into it. I'm the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around, I'll bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with a lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2, cause violent first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrog TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Frog, if this is your first time tuning in. And almost everything I talk about over here is prison or jail related. And the reason for that is not because I idolize jail or I idolize prison or being locked up at all. It's just for the simple fact that I want the world to know what it's really like inside of prison. Okay? You got a huge prison genre. There's tons of people out there that tell videos and break things down and want to speak on certain things. And my opinion, from the ones that I came across, from the ones I seen, I feel like a lot of them, you know, be bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And there might be some of them that are real, but there's definitely a lot that are fake. And one thing about it is you ain't got to worry about no fakeness over here, because Kfrog TV gonna give you that real spill every time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care who likes me, who don't. I'm gonna keep on dropping them. You see what I'm saying? Now for this one here, I'm gonna be telling y'all a time that an inmate got popped in the neck while being transferred on the bus. Okay? For anybody that's been on my channel for a long time, then y'all already know I've spoke on transit situations a couple times. You know, I spoke on how if you're a check-in or if you're on PC, you know, people could still get to you because when you're transferred, you're still on the bus around regular people. You are not separated like you are in confinement during your time on PC. Okay? Now, when somebody gets hit up on the bus, there's nothing that can really happen if the guard doesn't, you know, get notified. If he doesn't know you're wet and somebody's screaming, then obviously that's going to catch their attention. You feel me? But before I even went to prison, I always heard stories about people getting cut on the prison bus. You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I was like, yeah, that shit sounds good. You know, that shit only happens in the movies. Well, no, it also happens down here in the state of Florida, Department of Corrections as well. Can't speak for everybody else, but down here it does happen, okay? And I've seen people get cut 2 times while on the bus, all right? And one of the people that I seen get cut one time, it was just he got sliced, you know what I'm saying? And it was because someone was trying to rob him and he tried to buck the jack and didn't want to give it up. People get transferred with knives also. That's another thing that y'all need to remember. Okay, if somebody wants what you have, if you have something that's worth value, or it's something that they don't have at all, and they just like it, and they don't feel like you should have it, people will try to take your stuff. And during transit is the perfect time because there's not that many guards. There isn't people sitting there watching you like this, like you think in the movies, or somebody with a shotgun sitting there watching you while you're being transported like you see on TV. No. This is totally different. You get what I'm saying? There's usually a guard driving, and then there's a guard in the passenger seat. That's it. Simple as that. But they're really not over here looking, want to see what you're doing. People smoke and everything on the bus. So you think about it. You could smell smoke. You can't smell a knife. So if the guards ain't doing nothing about smelling smoke, when they know somebody's smoking on the bus, what makes you think that they're going to sense you have a knife? You feel me? And let me throw this out there. People also get transferred not just with knives, but with knives made out of like trays or made out of plexiglass, you know, made out of things to where it don't go off during the metal detector. You see, that's the easiest way. A lot of people be scared. They don't know what's going to happen. So they get transferred with knives and stuff like that. Now, you might get on the bus and be put in a bad spot to where you can see the past tense of someone that was once cut. What I mean by that is like when I was on the bus, 2 times while I was on the bus, I seen blood already on the bus. You get what I'm saying? There was one seat that looked like it was just covered in old rust. in all reality, that wasn't rust, that was blood. You feel me? Someone even wrote on the side of the wall, like of the door, like of the like where your window is, I would say, like your doorway, on the seat. You know, they even would write stuff. You feel me? Just like when you're in jail, anywhere you go, people carve, you know, their name, such and such was here and stuff like that. And you could dead ass see like bloody fingerprints, wrote something. You feel me? And left a mark. You know, that's the type of things you got to get used to. Okay. Now, one of the times that I seen the person get stabbed in the neck was them boys had got into altercation, I guess, over a friend of theirs. They both came from the same compound. We all got put on the bus. This was when we were transferring from a reception center. So I was already gone from my main camp. They already came from wherever their main camp was. And we landed on the bus because we were all going to another destination together, whether it was to another reception center or it was to our main compound. Them boys had a homeboy, a mutual friend, and they were arguing over him. I guess one was saying one thing about him, the other one was defending him, or then the other one was saying something about him, and that one was defending him, and it just went back and forth, and these boys went to arguing. Next thing you know, when them boys are arguing, you know, it's so loud on the bus as it is, everybody's talking. It sounds like you're in the middle of a cafeteria or a chow hall, what they call it inside a prison. But just like a cafeteria inside a school when you were younger, when you walk in, and how loud it is because you got multiple people talking at a time, and multiple people are trying to be louder than what they are hearing. So it just seems like real loudness. That's what it sounds like on one of these buses. You know what I'm saying? And they're arguing, going back and forth. Everybody can kind of hear what's going on, even though they're the loudest ones on the bus. Next thing you know, them boys get in a fight, and they start grabbing each other, and they start wrestling and rolling around. Let me mention that you do got shackles on. So as you're grabbing somebody, you can't really grab unless you put your hands fully over their body. You feel me? You might be able to put it over their head and wiggle and do what you got to do and kick and different stuff like that. But at the same time, you could be lucky enough to where they don't shackle your hands. You know, they might just have your waist and your feet to where you can't run and escape, because they're more worried about you trying to escape than they are you stabbing somebody or harming someone. Inmate's life means zero to the guards, okay? Actually, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could give a damn what you do to somebody, you know, as long as you're not trying to do it to an officer or trying to escape. You see what I'm saying? So these dudes are fighting for a little bit in the back. Everybody's looking, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know, you gotta mind your business. So of course not everybody's like you would do on the streets in the free world, but certain people that are paying attention, you know, seeing them boys were going back and forth a little bit in between the seats and shit. The bus kind of moving a little bit, you know, but the guards ain't paying no mind. They ain't giving a shit. They turn the music up. They blare us out, you know, so you might be listening to rock, rap, R&B, whatever it is, you feel me? And they just go about their day. So as these boys are back here rolling around, shit like that, certain people try to break it up, you know, distinguish the fire, you know, put it out a little bit. But, of course, one of them's always going to be the one that wants to prove a point rather than the other. So next thing you know, as them boys got separated and everything like that, they put bruh in the front, move bruh over here towards the back even farther. Next thing you know, that boy makes his way back there to the back again. They're over there sitting there hanging out. Now they're just talking a little bit back and forth. There isn't really no arguing. It just, you could tell there's still tension though. But the one dude who was already sitting back there, he kind of like was on like the silent treatment. You know, it was like, the other dude that walked back there again was saying a bunch of different things, you feel me? And then he would hit him with like one or two lines. Like, you could tell he ain't trying to talk, he ain't trying to argue about it. What's done's done. Next thing you know, the dude who ended up walking back there, he just, as he was talking shit, standing up, as he turned around like he was going to leave and walk back to the front of the bus because he knows he's not welcome back there no more, the dude who was sitting there with the silent treatment jumps up and cuts him right in the neck. You see what I'm saying? With a banger. He jumped up, hit him in the neck. Boom. Dude couldn't do shit but like try to get missing, and he hit him again. Boom. But the second one didn't really connect. It kind of like hit his ear rather than, you know, but the first one, that shit like squirted. Like, we knew he was hit. It just sounded like the sound of like heavy raindrops all landing at once. Like, when he got hit, it was like you just hear it go like it sounded like water just, but it was blood. He hit him and that shit squirted out. And everybody was like, oh, shit. You know, and when things like this go down, it's best to get away from the situation. You feel me? Because when the guards do come, you know, run down and shit like that, you don't want to be one of the people that get put in confinement on the house. Like, I've been put in confinement on the house due to people getting cut. They put you under investigation, and they could leave you back there, or they could transfer you. You know, they'll leave you back there for up to like 6 months or something like that. 6 months or 60 days or 45 days, something like that. And then they could transfer you if they want to. So as soon as a cutting goes down, the whole bus, including me, all shifted. We all went and left a whole bunch of empty rows in between the situation and us. So that way when the guard came in there, you know, he wanted, like, try to take it out on all of us. You feel me? And it was crazy because when the dude got cut, it was like right as we were all pulling into our reception center that we were getting off at. So it was like perfect timing, you know. Like, I never been in the, you know, presence of something happening like middle road, like while out there in the middle of transit. You see what I'm saying? Like, just imagine, I could just imagine either you're dying or they're pulling over and they're asking for help or something. There's no way that they're gonna just keep driving with you back there leaking. That I know of, you know. I don't really know. But he got spared that we were literally going into the reception center, you feel me? Because the guard jumped up after he went to yelling and shit that he's been cut and everything. The guard jumped up, seen all the blood. He put the little blue gloves on. He opened up the cage. He came in there and was helping him and shit like that, and had us all like transfer sides again, you feel me? And he was screaming. The guard was screaming. He called on the radio, and they pulled over inside the Sally Port. All the guards from like that reception center ran in there, had us all hemmed up right there. And I was thinking I'm going to confinement on the house, because they were saying since they can't find out who did it, everybody's getting held accountable. And normally they say stuff like that just so, you know, somebody will tell or point the finger. But it's prison, so let's be real. You're 9 times out of 10 going to go to confinement rather than point the finger at somebody. Because just because you avoided them 60 days in the box, you know, that you would have got on the house, you feel me? You told on that person. So now you might lose your life in there. People might try to kill you no matter where you go, all because you told who did it. So it's like, sometimes you get the shit end of the stick, you feel me? And you're like, damn, like you're back here for somebody else's actions. But at the same time, you kept it 100 on your end. You know what I'm saying? There was no other way around it. This is prison. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like it's the streets. You're not a civilian. You feel me? You can't just call 911 when you want to. You feel me? This is prison. You know what I'm saying? So you're better off just accepting that shit and just laying down and doing the time of confinement, okay? Now, one thing I want to tell you about this dude after he was cut in the neck, right? And the guards were helping him and everything. When I looked at the blood, that shit was so dark. Like, the blood itself looked like a dark burgundy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like no light red like you see if you cut your finger on something. It was like a burgundy red, and that shit was all over the back part that you see of your seat in the bus. That shit was all over that, all on the seat, all on the floor, and it looked like a trail. Like he was to the point to where he couldn't do nothing. You get what I'm saying? And all this happened over a mutual friend that they were having an argument over. You see? That just shows that the littlest thing can turn into the biggest thing while you're up the road. You feel me? These are the type of things that you got to look out for, because it can happen to anybody. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. It don't matter how big and bad you are, how respected you are, how liked you are, you feel me? How hated you are, any of that. Regardless, it can still happen to you. You see? And this dude got hit up on the neck while being transferred. You see? That just shows, like, how dangerous it is. You feel me? Because like I said, what if he would have got stabbed when we were 2 hours away from the reception center? Then what? They would have had to pull the bus over and call it in. They would have shut the damn bus off, had us all back there dying with no AC and shit like that. You feel me? Had us back there going through it, waiting for medical to show up or whatever so they can airlift this dude, or the ambulance to take him to outside medical or whatever it was. So that dude got spared, that he got hit up as we were getting to the reception center. Because if it was out there somewhere else, that boy probably would have bled out. He would have been so scared because of how long it would have took. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that they would have took forever to get there, but let's say that we landed on a road that had no reception. You know, who knows? And then the guards couldn't call out how they wanted to call out or get done what they needed to. Who knows? What if they landed out there in the middle of the sticks somewhere to where there was no way to get a hold of any medical attention, and this dude's just bleeding out back here in the back of the bus? You see? At the end of the day, you got to watch who you argue with. You got to watch who you get into it with. You got to watch what you're arguing about. And you got to always remember to take everything serious. Which means something that don't seem that serious, you have to remember it could be that serious. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how serious the other person's taking it. You might just be thinking, oh, we just got in a little scuffle. It is what it is. Meanwhile, dude's back there with a knife trying to stick that shit in your neck. You see, you got to be careful because people take it to the extreme. For instance, how they were on the bus and they got in that fight. Now all of a sudden they're going to ride the bus together like shit's sweet. Normally on the compound, I've been to many institutions to where you get in a fight with somebody in the dorm, both of y'all can't sleep in that dorm afterwards. Even if you feel like it's a done issue, you're done, the drama's, y'all cleared it up, you respect that y'all fought, everything's over with, the other dude might feel the same way. Like, yeah, it is what it is, boom, 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 our beef's over with, there's no more problems, we fought, got it over with. There's going to be people in that dorm that are on your side, and there's people in that dorm that are on his side that are going to feel like they got tension now with each other's homeboys. So they're going to feel like the only way this issue can be solved is one of y'all have to leave the dorm. You see? And it's going to be a crazy situation because you're not going to want to leave the dorm. I'm not going to want to leave the dorm. So it's just an on-curring beef now. If you think about it, we cannot go to sleep in this dorm right now, especially if it's an open bay. We cannot go to sleep in this dorm tonight if me and you just got in a fight. Straight up, that's what it is. The fight's the easy part. Getting over the fact after the fight is the hard part. You feel me? Because you can't trust people. Somebody might tell you it's a done situation. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Y'all might shake up, dap up, hug up, whatever it is. And then when you go to sleep, dude come in there and rip your face open with a razor blade or something. You see, so just because they were on the bus, the dude forgot to remember how serious the situation is after a fight. Even though it wasn't that big of a fight and boys couldn't really throw no blows like they wanted to. But at the same time, what's an easier way to get over something rather than if you can't whoop someone the way you wanted to because your hands are tied or you're shackled at the waist or whatever it may be. So just skip all that and cut him. You see? And that dude played. The one that they moved to the front, when he came back there, and he kept trying to talk and everything to the other dude, he played because he may have thought it wasn't that big of a situation, that, oh, he respects me now, he sees that I'm with it, let me go back there. He was better off staying in the front. If he would have just stayed in the front of the bus, he would have made it to the reception center, and then maybe the dude would have tried to get at him on the compound at the reception center or whatever it may have been, you feel me? But at the same time, he would have known to be aware of that. Because if it was something that happened on the compound and say that dude was in a different dorm than him and they fought, he would know, keep an eye on him when he sees him. So they just fought on the bus. He would have known to keep an eye on him on the compound. But instead, he want to go back there and just talk shit, want to look cool in front of everybody. And the moment he let his guard down to walk off, that's when the other dude who was barely saying anything jumped up and come here and then tried to hit him the second. Boom. You see? It can happen so quick. And that right there knocked the fight out of that dude. That dude that got hit, that boy went to hollering. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was like, oh, I got something for you, boy. When I see you, boy, don't worry, boy. It's all, boy. It's whatever, boy. No, that boy was hollering. Boy, he seen that blood and it traumatized him. And that's how it is for a lot of people, believe it or not. A lot of people talk that talk, but then when they see that blood, when they see that burgundy, when they see that red shit coming out of them, boy, a whole different side of them starts, And it could be for anybody, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to come on here and share that with y'all about the dude getting popped in the neck while being transferred on the bus. A lot of people, that work in prisons and shit, like guards and the wardens or whatever it is, classification officers and all that, they would never ever tell this type of stuff, to anybody because they don't want, it to be in the newspaper. They don't want it to be on the news. They don't want it to spread. They don't want the press to get a hold of it and it spread everywhere. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of other people will not say nothing about it because they feel like, oh, it wasn't me that it happened to, so let's just, who cares? Me, I come on here and I share the stories with y'all just to let y'all know the type of things that have happened inside a prison. The type of things that there is no light on. The type of things that happen and people just turn their head on it like it's not that serious of a situation. Yeah, of course, to me, it's not that serious because it wasn't me that it happened to or anybody that I know like that. But at the same time, it was still a serious situation to somebody. And that same situation can happen to you. You feel me? That's why I come on here. You know what I'm saying? I don't come on here and just tell every single thing that happened to me. You know, I come on here and I tell y'all things that I witnessed, that I knows went down, just for anybody who may be facing time or who may have a loved one in there or whatever it is that they talk to. You know, it's kind of like trying to give you a head start and put you up on game about the type of shit to expect inside of prison. You feel me? If you're someone that went through prison and you didn't have no problems, or you didn't see nothing like the stories I be telling, or went through anything like this, then you're blessed. It doesn't mean prison isn't truly like that. It just means you got lucky the way you went. You get what I'm saying? Because like I've said, I've had people that on their 4th or 5th bid, they started seeing bad things. You see, they made it through prison 3-4 times without coming across bad shit. And then you got other people who on their very first bid, including myself, witnessed bad shit, been through bad shit themselves. You see, so it all just depends on your timing and where you're at and who you're there with. Because at the end of the day, it isn't, you know, the prisons that are killing people. It's the people inside the prisons. You see what I'm saying? And you could come across the wrong person, the wrong type of energy and people, and your bid can switch like this. You can have an awesome bid for 4 years and have 1 year left, and your last year could be treacherous. Or it could be the opposite. You can have problems for 4 years, you know, and then your last year be sweet. Or you can have to where it's the opposite the other way, to where, you know, you're in prison and you don't have no problems at all, and then when you get on the street you think prison's sweet, and then you go back to prison and then it be treacherous. Or you could be scared of prison from your first bid, get out, boom, go back to prison and be so tetrified, and your second bid could be sweet. You see, that's what I want people to understand. Okay, not saying what I be talking about is going to happen to you, not saying it can happen to you, which it can, but not saying it won't happen to you also. You see what I'm saying? That's the easiest way I could break it down. These are just stories to let y'all know the things that actually happen inside a prison. I don't want to cover it up. I want y'all to know and be aware. You understand? And that's why I make these videos for y'all. You feel me? Now, before I wrap this video up, I am going to ask y'all to drop in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about the situation. Do you think the dude who went to the front, came to the back, should have just stayed up there? That's what I feel like. He should have just stayed up front. If he would have just stayed up front when everybody separated that shit, I feel like it could have went a totally different way. Who knows? The dude in the back could have got caught with his knife when we went through the processing of the reception center. Or 9 times out of 10, he wasn't going to stab him in front of the guards. So mostly would have bought him some time to wait until they get on the compound. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that the dude in the back was wrong? Or whatever. Y'all drop it in the comment section. Let me know. Have y'all ever been through anything like this? Ever witnessed this? Ever seen somebody get took up through there on the bus? Have you ever seen somebody get popped on the bus? Whatever. Drop it in the comment section. That's what the comments there for. I appreciate y'all watching, man, like I always say. And I promise y'all, to the day I'm gone, I'm going to keep dropping this real spill. And I'm going to keep on telling y'all the facts and shit that goes on inside of prison for real, for real. Just so people know what to look out for and what to pay attention to, so that way it don't happen to you. But like I always say, man, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. Till next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though, cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.